Hello and welcome to Matt's Casual Cooking. Today we're going to be doing something I really wanted to make for a while and kind of take a step back from the holidays, and we're going to be making poppy seed bread. Very fun and tasty dish that you can make for any time of year. It's a fun treat, and we're going to go over all the ingredients you're going to need and how to put it together, and let's get to it.
All right, folks, so we're going to go ahead and go over the ingredients you're going to need today. And we're going to have it in two parts, the wet and dry ingredients you're going to need, as one of my favorite cooks, Alton Brown, would say. So in the bowl with the dry ingredients, initially you're going to need 3 cups of flour, 2.5 cups of sugar, 1 1/4 teaspoons of salt, a half teaspoon of baking powder, and 2 teaspoons of poppy seeds. Now for the wet items, you're going to need 3 eggs, 1.5 cups of milk, 1 1/4 cups of any sort of cooking oil you want to use, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and 3.5 teaspoons of almond extract. Now for the glaze, you are going to need a half teaspoon of the vanilla and the almond extract, and you're also going to need a half cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of butter, and a 1/4 cup of orange juice. Now we're going to go over obviously the bread first, and then I'll just show you how to do that, and then we'll go ahead and get to that. All right, so I've put all the wet items in a separate bowl, but in reality, you don't actually have to do it. All you have to do is take your wet items and just one by one put it in with the dry items. I'm just going to go ahead and just dump it in. You don't have to do anything special. As much as I can in here. Alright, so what you want to do now is once your wet items are in, you just want to take your stand mixer or hand blender, and you just want to go ahead and combine it together, and then that should only take a couple minutes. So just what you're looking for obviously is just like a doughy consistency. So go ahead and do that, and I'll see you when it's done. Alright folks, so you can see our dough is done. It only took about 5 minutes. It's not going to take you long to combine it. Now it is kind of thick, so if you do have your hand mixer and it seems like it's going slow, just up the speed to get it going. So what we're going to do now is you're going to turn your oven to 350 degrees, and you're going to want to get out your bread pans. Now I'm just going to, you can leave these ungreased. I'm just actually going to spray it with a little spray. Now you can also, if you want to flour the pans, you can. But what we're just going to do now is we're just going to, just about half of the dough needs to go into each one. You can actually probably either scoop it out, or kind of, you can see it's kind of very, very doughy. So just about, now you could, if you wanted, if you only had one bread pan, you could actually just put this whole thing in there if you like, but I would try to just use 2. Alright folks, so we're going to go ahead and make the glaze for the bread. And for your butter, you want to make sure it's room temperature. You can kind of see it's very, very soft. We're going to need it initially for the sugar. So pour your sugar in, and now we're just going to whisk it together. You get some butter chunks initially. Now you can use, if you have a hand mixer, or you could do this in a blender if you want to do it that way as well. We just want to just kind of combine the sugar and the butter in together where it kind of makes some nice little chunks. Alright, so we've got the butter and the sugar, and it's going to kind of look like snow. So what you just want to do now is you just want to add like your orange juice and your extracts. Alright, you can see our mixture looks kind of like a wet snow, and that's kind of what we're really going for. So now while the bread is drying, we're going to go ahead and put it on there so it can kind of melt on it. Alright, so you can see I've got one loaf of bread here. The other one kind of really got stuck into the pan. So just go ahead and take your glaze, and we're just going to take like a knife or a spoon or however you want to do it. And we're just going to kind of spread it on the top. And it's just going to, and you really want to kind of do this away after you take it out of the pan to air out so the glaze can melt a little bit nicer on it. But we're getting some really good melting on it. So go ahead and do that, and I'll see you here in just a minute. Alright folks, so you can see we got our glaze nice and melting on top of the bread. It's cooling here, so you're going to have a really good tasting bread here after all is said and done. So if you enjoyed making this video or making this recipe today, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. And I want to thank you for watching, and have a good rest of your day.